Hello, 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 and welcome. It's a new month. It's a new, look, we're like tapping. It's a new month. It's a new day. We're on Wednesday nights, all through spring, all through summer, and up till about fall-ish. Um, we'll be on here on Wednesdays on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And hi, Lily. So good. I owe you a phone call because it's been crazy today. It's been run, 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 run. And I'm running because our amazing guest, Kyra, Kyra Schaefer, co-founder and CEO of As You Wish Publishing, has joined us once again. Amazing, amazing, amazing. And I'm so glad you're here. And how are you today?
I'm doing just great, Elias.
Thank you. I'm glad. What is going on in your world as I'm making sure that we're on Instagram?
I am, getting ready for our retreat coming up, and so very excited about that. Our participants have been getting a kind of email, once every couple of days to just kind of spark their fire and spark their intuition and do kinds of fun easy peasy, like little writing prompts and things like that. So, yeah, just feeling the connection and getting ready. We still have a couple spots left too.
We
So,
do have a couple spots, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Come on,
yeah.
baby, light my fire. I'm sorry, I had to get it out because when you said, you know, light the fire, I'm like, come on, baby, light my fire. So, speaking of lighting our fire,
Yeah.
how do you, because I know a bit of your story and I know how writing was so important to you in high school, in college. How do you nurture those pieces of spoken or which then turns into written word? How do we do that? Hey, Chris, good to see
Hey,
you.
Chris is coming.
Chris is coming. Yes.
So for me, as far as when it comes to writing and the process of that, when it comes to how our central nervous system handles, an overload, it's a great place to let the things that feel really big land, have a spot. And otherwise, there's some things that happen in the psychology where there's just a loop. For me, if I'm in bed and I can't sleep because I've just got this loop, of this one of these 16, thousand thoughts that decide to go through my head right before bedtime. If I sit down, write it out, no matter what it is, even if it's ridiculous, my central nervous system starts to calm down. It's like, oh, that's done. That's done. That's complete. We're good. We can move on to restful state. And when we see that kind of shift happen, our minds and our bodies kind of come together and relax into an easy place. And I think that that's really key right now with a lot of things that are happening in this experience in this world. And having writing as a tool is really empowering.
Mm. Would you say that people don't nurture their writing because someone's going to find it or someone's going to judge? It comes down to judgment, right? So, and I think that's why people are afraid to write, even to say, oh, I have a book or I have a chapter book that I would love to be in, but I'm afraid how the word is going to come across.
Yeah, that's really common. Because sometimes when I was talking about the loop closes sometimes when you finish something. You've completed the manuscript, you completed the book. So that thing that was nagging at you, I've got a book in me, or somebody's saying you've got a book in you and you've got to come and tell your story and it's so amazing and people need to hear it. Well, the process in which you publish the book or you speak the word and you let people know your story, sometimes that heals it to a point where there's no longer a need to share it. And so it then has to shift gears in your psychology where you start to say, oh, this isn't about me anymore. I created the thing. It's not about me anymore. And as many people can get their eyes on it, the better, because this is the expansion of my voice. So I expressed it. Now I need to expand it. And that no longer belongs to you, right? That is just the natural progression of art, you know, and writing as an art form and as a nurturing piece to so many other people.
And I like how you said that it's an expansion. I don't think people think of that
No.
much. They don't think of it. And so there's something empowering about, well, we just had the retreat this last weekend. And so many people on that retreat felt that their voice wasn't heard.
Yes.
And I would say there were like close to 30 people. Mm-hmm. And every single person, and myself included, like there were times when I was younger that I didn't feel like my voice was heard. And I think that writing allows our voices to be heard, even if we feel meek to speak. Meek to speak. Oh, that's good.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I think the opportunity to be able to have a journal, a notebook, even if it's in your phone, to be able to do that. And those are, I don't want to say classes, but those are things, I don't know, did you do ever, you might have done a class on it, but workshops or prompts that you do, that you say when you are leading a group of people in writing.
Mm-hmm. So what was the question there? I'm sorry.
I don't know. It was just a statement.
Oh, you were just stating something. So
I'm right off a retreat, Kyra. I'm like,
no, it's me too. You know, I get it. But I do want to I want to hear about your retreat though. I want to hear like, what were some of the aha moments, because having that voice and having that space to express how you're feeling in a retreat setting is so significant. And I think that also gets underplayed as well. You know, it's like, I have a safe place to just be who I am. And, you know, within, you know, the confines of a community setting, you know, like, you know, unless you're at a gun show, you don't want to come in guns blazing, but you know, like, you know, but what were some takeaways from your event this past week?
So I think for everyone that, and I think this is going to go for also for the retreat that we're doing at the end of the month, there is such power in community to be heard, to be supported, to be not judged, and have the ability to be in a group of people and know that everyone could step up and challenge themselves, not having like the world challenge them, but I'm going to challenge myself, and I'm going to have an accountability partner that's going to keep me from falling back on some old patterns, which was really interesting. Hello, Lee Michael. Long time no see.
Lee! I talked to Lee last night.
Okay. Sound healing was very powerful. Thanks, Chris. And she's talking about the rhythmic soul sound healing that we did, which is really cool. Who's White? Hello. Thank you for joining on Instagram. Thank you for being here. Oh, you switched over to here. All right. Thank you for going from there to here. Thanks so much. I think, you know, also there were so many takeaways from this. How do we get our buttons pushed, and where do we stop ourselves from getting to where we want to be? Yeah. Chris is saying being a community full of love and support without judgment is amazing. Yes. Hi, Vicky. Good to see you. So what have you found in your groups that you feel that people can have the, oh, this is what's coming to me, the permission to express themselves?
So what have I seen in groups where people, I'm sorry, I don't know why my brain isn't working.
Okay.
It's like the ding, 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 ding. I was wanting to answer multiple questions in there. Like the first one that I heard that I held on to was when you have so many things triggering or coming in, how do you sit down? How do you separate? How do you take that break? And
Right.
so the one thing is, first, know what they are. And you could start by journaling that out, and just that can be certainly a prompt that says, what are my core triggers, those core things that push my buttons? What are they? Because when we examine ourselves, and when one or more together, the ego can't keep up the charade, it can't stand.
Right.
And so when you have conscious awareness of the things that pull this out in you, then you're able to go, okay, these are the top 10 things that drive me absolutely batty, and I can avoid them. I can acknowledge them. I can love myself in them. I can love myself through my reactions. I'm allowed to experience whatever I'm experiencing, and I can let it flow through me. That's a very Buddhist thing where, if you have a feeling, you become one with the feeling, even if it's a negative feeling, you let it move through you. And so writing can be a very powerful way to do that, because when we think about something like, I'm going to write something that somebody else may not agree with, right? You can turn and burn that, right? You can just shred it up, get rid of it, do whatever you want. The act of creating the output is what begins the healing process.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that process begins, anything can happen to that piece of paper. You can get rid of it. And so it's not really about that. I have packs and stacks of papers and stuff I never had to go back to, because it healed, it cleared by the simple act of writing it out. So now you have your list, you have your thing, you have conscious awareness. And that is when you then go, what do I want to do with this?
Right.
And so one thing that, as it's healed or healing, you can journal about it. Like you said, you can write about it. You can write a chapter in one of our amazing chapter books at As You Wish Publishing, and give advice on those particular buttons. You can give advice on those buttons. It's like, if this comes up for you, you have this choice and this choice and this choice, and talk about it and be vulnerable and be real about it, because no one else can replicate your voice, but
Right.
we all have similar problems. And so I think, to me, it's an exercise in self-trust and expression as well.
What would it, and I'm just gonna put this out there. So when we were at the retreat, I got a lovely gift from Michelle, who does some events out there, and I got a cute little mug with some chocolate in it.
Yay!
For the chocolate, and look what I got.
Notebook.
And it's it's there, and I got a pen.
Nice.
And I'm like, how awesome to have a notebook and a pen as we're going to go ahead and do our next retreat in April. And I'm wondering, is this something that people should, and let me change the word should, would this be a great idea for people to have and keep, just like pen and paper, with them?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know we use our phone a lot, right? Yeah. And hello, CryPix and Gloria Happiness 60. Hello to both of you. Thanks for being here. But wouldn't a novel idea to have paper and pen with you? And what happens if you found the opportunity to drive by a park or go by the water or whatever you do, and just sit and reflect with, because we do meditation, we do all these things, but are we writing it? Are we putting it down? Because sometimes we need to look at it again and again, and then it makes sense or it changes.
Right. What struck me just then was we are, what's the saying? We are made, and all that is image, right?
Yes.
And that image is creator. And the act of creating whether it's through artwork or through writing or through, some visual interpretation or through singing or through, dancing, whatever that is harnessing the creative force, the creative power, which then heals the body. It heals the mind, it heals the being, it creates a sense of wholeness. And so having a notebook with you at the act of writing is something that is very ancient. It's ingrained. It's in our DNA. It's for thousands of years. We've only had these guys for a very short period of time. Right. What, 25, 30 years or so that any of us were actually using it as a way. I mean, remember texting with the little phone and then it was like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, right. 2, and trying to get to the letter that you needed. Nightmare. And we didn't have I had a voice recorder, like one of those things, and I loved it, but it would never get out of the voice recorder. It would just stay in there, because I wouldn't transcribe it, because I got what I needed from it, but there was good information there too. And so we can sometimes miss that ancient connection to truth when we kind of go full tech, in my opinion. Now, is it easy if you want to write a book, and that's your choice? You're like, really, I just got to get this content in and I'm going to transcribe it and I'm going to organize it and all that stuff. Absolutely. It's a great method. But if you're wanting to do some healing work, pen and paper is pretty powerful. And then you can doodle and draw and do some other things. And then you can do things like automatic writing too, which is a lot easier with pen and paper, in my opinion. Right. Maybe not everybody feels that way.
I agree with you. Hello, Lisa. Finally got access to the feed again. Technology got me lose it after a new device. Okay, I hear you. Thanks for being here. Dorothy Baxter. Hello. I finally got your package, Dorothy. I had to go drive it to Skamania today, get it, and bring it back home. And I'll talk to you about that later. Thank you. And Kiki, good to see you, Kiki. Kathleen's new name is Kiki, thanks to the.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Danielle, my girlfriend Danielle calls me Kiki.
That's cute. Okay. And then of course, my husband knows that we're on a live and he decided to just text me. So he's cute. All right. Thanks everybody for being here. We appreciate it. Mandy, crap, I'm late. It's okay. So glad you're here, girls. So glad you're here. And Mandy's coming up in your new book.
Yep.
And what's that book?
That one is Resilient Heart. Right? Yeah.
Oh, the one that I'm in.
Yeah, the one that you're in.
Yes. Can we announce that?
I'm pretty sure that's the one she's in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not. See, we had just closed up The Power of Vision. And so, and then now we're in Resilient Heart. And so, but Mandy, girl, like getting to know her and connect with her a bit, because we have Zoom calls, for the individual collaboration books, to just make sure we're sparking interest in, what their ideas are and what they're creating and what they want to create. So I got to really connect with her, and she is just the bomb diggity.
Yes. But you have a new book coming up with all the women, no?
Startup to Stand Out. That one will be the next one that will be published.
Yes.
And then Power Vision, then Resilient Heart. Yes. Oh. But the Resilient Heart, we only have 10 spots left in that one. So if anybody wants that, it's asyouwishpublishing.com/wewrite.
I think I have a person for you.
All right. So, I need that person. I need voices. Your voice doesn't need permission. It needs a place. And we got your place.
And speaking of place,
yay!
If you are itching to write a chapter in a book, if you are thinking about, well, I don't know what to do, we're going to help you. We're going to assist you in, as the title says, express your soul through writing. We're going to help unlock this creative potential that you have within. And again, like the flyer says, we're going to do exercises that allow you to let go of those patterns that no longer serve you, So then you can do the writing piece. And the beauty of this retreat, everyone, is that it is the retreat, the food, the lodging, and you will be in a compilation book, just like the ones that were mentioned, and just like Synchronicity, which, by the way, bestseller. Right. So awesome. Anything
Always.
when
So if your bio is missing that, I don't know what, that bio that's missing, so and so is a best-selling author. If that's something that you're missing, you need it. You need it. You need to be either in the Resilient Heart coming up, and maybe it's not an either or. I think it's an and.
I think it's an and.
You need to express your soul through writing with me and Elias.
Right. It's going to be a really great retreat, you guys. And those of you that just came off a retreat or wanted to go on this retreat, come join us.
Yes.
Come join us. Does anybody have any, let me pop us back in. There we go. Does anybody have any questions about how do we nurture? Because you had a couple things to mention, no?
Sure. Yeah. Like some prompts and some fun things that we can do. Yeah. Kathleen, Kiki, right?
Yes.
I see that she says, I'd love to be able to write. I struggle with it. That's the kind of thing that we'll help with during the retreat. But something you can do, and there's just been so many schools of thought on this and all this stuff, but I have nothing on energetically, emotionally, intellectually, nothing on using little ChatGPT, using little Claude, CLAUDE, to help with writing. It's almost like a writing aid. Pro Writing Aid had some of these things built into it too. But you just get some ideas, you get some thoughts. Don't worry about the grammar. Like, I feel like that's the issue with most people. The grammar isn't right, or the punctuation is, my punctuation is garbage. My loving, beautiful husband is like, punctuation, baby. Wow. So, but does that stop me from writing? Does that stop me from expressing? Absolutely not. Because we have copy editors. We have things like ChatGPT that'll clean it up in your voice and make sure that it stays clear, so don't worry about the end, just let it flow through you. And we'll work on that during the retreat too. But let me see if I've got a few prompts here and that might, call to you a bit. So let's do like an emotional presence one. All right. So if I could fully be honest with myself today, what would I say? Totally honest with myself, not anybody else. I'm not whatever. What would I say? Be honest with myself about. And you can pause this if you're watching it later and just jot a couple notes down. Right now, what I need most to hear.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And then a part of me I haven't spoken to in a while is, that one gives me chills, because the part of me I haven't looked at, I haven't addressed, I haven't cared about, I haven't loved on. What would I say to that part of me? And write some in the comments and talk to us a little bit about maybe something that pinged you there, even if it's 1 or 2 words. It doesn't have to be a lot. You don't have to write, a 2,000-word essay to get the energy, right, of it.
Something just happened on Instagram, and
okay, well, you keep doing that, and I'll keep doing this.
Yeah, because we just lost connection, so keep up.
Okay, okay. So let's do a couple other easy prompts. For one, just as for like a grounding and presence. And I think we're going to do some of this too with the retreat, because there's some outdoor stuff and some fun stuff and some meditative places and places that we can really connect with nature. So let's just start with this one. Write about a moment in nature that made you feel deeply connected and at ease, when you were just in a natural place outside and feeling that connection. And then breath. Breath is such a good one. The rhythm of your breath. Write about the rhythm of your breath as if you were narrating it as a gentle ocean wave. And there are times when that gentle ocean wave is a tsunami. Sometimes when it's very still. Sometimes when it's choppy. And just thinking about all the ways in which your breath comes in and out, either when you're in a peaceful place or not a peaceful place. This doesn't have to be pretty. Writing and creating and expression is what it is. We don't have to regulate it. And then let's look at releasing, like stress and anxiety. So current worries that you might have. Any current worries, you can write them down. You can turn and burn. You can do, whatever you want to, or tear and burn. But any current worries, and you can either visualize them floating away, or you can write about them and get rid of them. However you want to see and experience and feel that for yourself. You can also write a meditation, as well, on how to release those things and the visualizations you might use.
That's a good one.
Yeah. And then one final one, write a love letter to yourself, highlighting your strengths and resilience and the moments that you've overcome and created and allowed. Love on yourself a bit today.
Mandy says the last couple of mornings I've been free writing to zone in on what I'm writing. The first morning I'm pretty sure was therapy. Went on tangent that was not expected, but today was more productive. I love that.
It's perfect.
Hi, Susan. Thanks for joining. Susan, if you don't know, we're doing this. Susan, come join us. There's a couple spots left. For our Express Your Soul Through Writing retreat in Iowa.
What's funny is my grandmother lived in Mechanicsville, Virginia. Okay. And I used to go, Mechanicsville, Virginia. And I used to call it Pumpkinsville, because that's where we would go and get our pumpkins when I was a kid. They were at her house. I don't know where. I think she probably grew pumpkins, and I couldn't say Mechanicsville, so I said Pumpkinsville. And it's so funny. We're doing this retreat, and I didn't know there was more than one Mechanicsville. How strange,
who knew, right? Who knew? I wouldn't have guessed. Anybody have any questions for Kyra, or anybody want to share anything that came up with those prompts that she gave you? Let us know. Let us know. I want to also express that big kudos to you and Todd. I don't think you all know what a lot of work it takes to compile a book with anywhere between 20 to 30 authors. I mean, this one has more than just this, but it's a lot of work, and it's the format, it's the design, it's the artwork, it's the getting everybody together, it's doing all the stuff that you that wouldn't do as a, we're just going to say, if you did it on your own, you wouldn't know how many things it takes to get all this together, to get all the lines together, the formatting. That was a hard one for me when I first did my own book. It was,
I know.
Thank you. Thanks. Did you like how the one paragraph was here, and on the next page the paragraph started here? At one point I'm like, screw it. It's a
get it out there. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
It was like
barely anybody would notice but me.
Well, I noticed. Trust me. I'm like, oh. But it didn't matter. It was a thought of the day book. But the point is that there is a lot of work that Kyra and Todd do that you guys don't have to do. And that's the beauty of having someone get this, and you do the same thing for your solo books. When
Right.
when an author comes to you and says, here, I'd like to use it as my publisher and get this all out, and all the stuff that goes with it too, guys. There's a lot. Kyra and Todd save you the hassle of so many things that you know, happens with a book. And Chris said, yeah, see, Mandy says such a blessing, truly. Chris has a question. How many words do you plan on for a chapter?
Okay, so here's the deal. So all of the people in the retreat are going to get an extra 1,000 words. So normally we do 1,500 words for a chapter in our book like Synchronicity, but we're going to give them a $100 add-on, which is the extra 1,000 words. You know, we have to copy edit it, format it. It's not like, it's not always easy to just go like, okay, here's an extra 1,000 words and whatever. But we are going to also just give that to those people who are coming to the retreat. So as a little extra bonus. So your guys' chapters, Chris is coming. So that's why I'm saying your guys' are going to be 2,500 words available.
And Chris, it seems like, oh my God, 2,500 words. Trust me. This young lady, I say young lady because I'm much older. This young lady was able to get us to write within 5 minutes. How many was it? Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
You were like 1,000, at least like 1,000, almost 1,000 words. Yeah, you could do
1,000 words in 5 minutes. When she's like, just go. Don't worry about punctuation. Don't worry about anything. Just write. And I could not believe how much came out in 5 minutes. It was redunculous. It really was. Truly, truly. So we're all in good hands with Kyra. Trust me, guys. All in good hands.
Yeah. Yeah. And at the retreat, for the people who are attending the retreat, you guys are going to get some other fun stuff too. So it's not just like, you just come to the retreat and that's all you get. No, I got things in mind.
It's got things. So Dorothy wants to know, do you do kids' books?
No. No. However, I do offer a incredible publishing course called Publishing Made Easy. I even wrote a book called Publishing Made Easy, which is on my back shelf here. And it's a full course. It's completely comprehensive. And at the end of it, you would be able to publish your own books. You could own your own publishing company, and you could even do kids' books. Otherwise, I recommend Fatima Abbas from Fiverr.com if you need illustrations for your books. So, but no, they are very challenging for me to do. And it can be very costly in the long run, even more so above and beyond our typical basic package. So I don't.
Okay. Yeah. Chris says, wow, thank you. I'm so excited. Kiki says, I need writing made easy.
Okay, that's my next book.
There we go.
Writing made it. That'll be good because that'll be a series.
Yeah,
all right, I can do that. Can I announce something?
Yes, please. I love announcements.
So I decided to do kind of a passion project, fun thing just for me and for anybody else who would like it. So in transparency of someone who expresses, who, and I believe this, writing a book is one of the boldest ways to say, I'm here, I matter. And, but I loved archetypes from the time, like as soon as I learned what an archetype was, at first it was archangels because, I was a kid in church and that kind of thing. I was like, ooh, they do things like, what's that about? And then I learned with Jung and Carolyn Mace and, all that kind of stuff about archetypes. And so, and then I learned about the hero's journey and the different archetypes in writing. Well, I created my own writing with the archetypes.
Ooh, I like it.
Invoke, meditate, and remember who you are. And you'll notice that's spelled wrong. So if you go, if you go out there right now to KDP and buy their book right now, it will be wrong. But I have just recently fixed it, and I just put it up on hardback, so I'm waiting on those approvals. But
That's a really beautiful cover.
I know.
That's cool.
I know. So hold on. I got to show you on the inside. So here's our first page.
Love it.
Right? Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Look at that. That's beautiful.
I know. I'm so excited. Here's a pure light girl. Okay, here's one I think you'll like. Well, this one, this one's cool. The Horizon Walker.
Yeah, I love that one. Yeah, that's cool.
And I did. Hold on. Okay, I did a little bit of a Greek.
The Alchemist. I like
The Alchemist. And okay, I got to do the Truth Singer because he is like kind of me. And this one is so resonant with I think a lot of the people that
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, this is the Heartsworn. That's the caretaker, the one that loves, just loves. And this is the Truth Singer. I just think he's gorgeous. Singer. Yeah.
Not the jazz singer.
He reminds me of you too. Like his energy. Yeah. So I just did this one. I just finished it, Writing with the Archetypes. Invoke, meditate, and remember who you are. I've got meditations in here. I've got invocations in here. I just connected with each one of them, and I've got exercises. I got a way you can test yourself to see which one you are. And I got their shadow side. I love this book. I'm in love with this book. It's so fun. So anyway, I wanted to do something that just felt like passionate, for me. And it brought me a lot of joy to do it. So might be bringing a couple of those books as giveaways during the retreat.
Well, guys, if you have any other questions, you can contact Kyra directly at connect@asyouwishpublishing.com. If you want to be in a compilation book, if you also want to be on the retreat at the end of the month, please let both of us, either one of us, know. And that is really cool to have you there. It'd be really cool to have you there. Yeah. We are going to be on every Wednesday, like I said, and I'm just going to share something with you. I hope I pulled this up properly. Give me 1 second. God, I hope I did this right. Let's see. Did I do it? I did. Yay. Okay. So, I just have to press the right button. So, and there we are. There you go. There it has. And then we're going to do this. So notice Kyra's here first. Next Wednesday, we have Intisar Ben Halim, and she's going to talk about nurturing ourselves. And she is a Gestalt therapist, trained in Gestalt theory. And remember, she comes on almost every spring and fall and talks about how we can love ourselves in different exercises. So she's lovely. Now I have another new friend, Joanne Fawcett, and she's an author who I told about Kyra. And her book is, give me a second. Here it is. Nope, that's the wrong one. I was going to say that's Guided by Spirit, which is also a As You Wish publishing.
That's right.
The Prince Was Wrong.
Ooh, that's fun.
Leaving the Narcissist Behind.
Oh, dang.
That is, it's a follow-up memoir to her first book, Midlife Magic. So Joanne discusses what it's like to be married to a narcissist. Wait for it. Husband number 7.
That takes commitment. That's the funniest thing I've said all week.
You know what? say a lot of funny things. They're all funny. They're all good. But the book lays out the demise of their relationship with clear examples of his narcissistic behavior. It covers the divorce process and shares lessons that Joanne learned. So, narcissist people that attract them, come join us. Then we have my dear friend Moira Scullion, who's going to talk about nurturing your soul. Yay, Moira. Also, Moira's been in the book Synchronicity. So thank you. And then another person I'd like to have in one of the books is Lisa Randall, Nurturing Your Face and Body. We forget about that.
Yes.
So she is a pomifera from the pomifera fruit. It's all natural face and body stuff, and it is amazing. So she's going to talk about that. So I'm really excited about it. That's what we got every Wednesday, guys. And there's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Wednesdays. Let me say that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 Wednesdays. 5 Wednesdays.
Well, I'm so glad I got to be your first Wednesday.
You are, and I'm excited too. I'm excited for the end of the month. I'm excited for what will be created. And if you're watching the replay, please know that we have a couple spots left. Come talk to us as soon as you can, because it's really important, because we'll need to know those things. And Mandy, I'm going to talk to you tomorrow, I hope. And Lily, I'm going to talk to you tomorrow, I hope. And Kyra, I'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Oh, it sounds great. I got my plane ticket. I'm ready to roll.
Yes. So, guys, thanks for being here. Remember,
you guys.
We are here to, it's backwards, darn it. We are here to connect. And when we connect, we educate. And when we educate, we grow. There is unity in community. From our hearts to yours. Be well, everybody. We'll talk soon. Take care.